Hey, what's up guys? John here. California is about to change the entire trucking industry all throughout America. We're already starting to see it with large companies such as Yellow. They're laying off 22,000 truckers. They just got a $700 million bailout from the government and they're unable to pay it back. They're losing money hand over fist. You have many other companies such as FedEx issuing layoffs, DHL. A lot of companies are now issuing massive layoffs in the trucking industry. I think we need to pay attention to what's happening behind the scenes because the next 4 or 5 months, as these new regulations start to roll out in California, it's going to impact everybody nationwide because 1/3 of all goods that come in to America are coming through Long Beach or the LA port. Look at what's going on. Form an opinion for yourself. I believe this is going to be extremely inflationary, and I think that nobody's talking about this, but soon you're not going to be able to not talk about it because prices are about to go through the roof. Please hit the like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube will share this content to educate more people about what's really going on. And if you want to fix your credit, we'd love to help you at my company, greatcreditfast.com. That's greatcreditfast.com. You can go there, schedule a free strategy session. Take a look at this. So, electric big rigs, of course, are far more expensive than traditional diesel operations. The state of California is offering a variety of grants. This, by the way, 2024 January, all new vehicles will be electric that are going to be purchased in California for distribution in the trucking industry. The state of California is offering a variety of grants and special loan programs for fleets to purchase one of these vehicles. He noted that participating in such programs could result in a tax penalty. It costs around $350,000 to $400,000 to buy an electric drayage vehicle. Now, a drayage vehicle is a vehicle in which takes products from the port through oceanside ports and distributes it to a location. Rebates can greatly be lower the cost, right? But look at this. Trucking fleets in California have another reason to fear electric big rigs. Even if there's enough charging stations, it takes far longer for an electric truck to charge than it takes to fuel at a diesel rig. Now, who would pay those costs? Well, it would be the trucking operator, the trucking company operator. And what would they do with that newfound cost? They push it along to the consumer. The cost would continue to come down to the consumer. But take a look at this. He estimates that getting gas for one truck takes 15 minutes. Charging a battery electric truck may take an hour, but probably more like several hours. These trucks are also heavier, which means they can move far less weight. Overall, he believes the transition to electric trucks will require companies to double their fleet size in order to haul the same amount of freight. That means higher truck rates and almost definitely higher sticker prices for consumers. So, how are we getting to 2% inflation? I don't see it. Look at this. It says that 2024 is when all of this is going to start to come out. Estimated 1,000 zero-emission trucks will come online in 2024. And so when we're looking at these new guidelines, these new deadlines right here, the type of trucking company operates in ports to only buy zero-emission trucks starting January 1, right? That's what's going to happen. Look at what is happening here. If everything is coming through California, right? Everything is coming in through California, and we're getting a lot of products from China, from India, South Korea, Japan. It's following straight here, right into Long Beach, right into LA. And so if all of these trucks have to now start becoming electric, and it's going to be much more cost for the operator of these trucking companies. They're going to have to pay their employees to sit at these charging stations. They're going to have to spend a lot more money to buy more and more and more trucks. What's ultimately going to happen? Prices are going to keep going up. There's no way around it. Unless they switch the port location to, they'd have to go all the way. California is basically the only viable option. Unless they went through Mexico and then cut through Texas, but even that is not going to solve the problem. So we are going to see, or they went through Oregon or Washington, but odds are we're going to see prices skyrocket. Take a look at this. Trucking company, Yellow, $700 million. It says it could default, right? That was 3 weeks ago. Now, Yellow Truck heading for bankruptcy. This was 2 days ago. 22,000 union jobs go poof. Big trouble. Yellow Truck driver ponder next moves amid potential bankruptcy. But it's not just Yellow. Look at all of these trucking companies that are stepping into problems. DHL, US Express, layoffs mount amid falling freight demand. FedEx close 29 locations in 4th round of layoffs. Florida Trucking Company files for bankruptcy. But look at all this, just to show context. Shutter Georgia Trucking Company files for Chapter 7, July 17th. Freightos laying off 30% of employees as revenue weakens, July 11th. Western Global Airlines sued for non-payment of logistics services, July 6th. Former mail contractor says he and other owes thousands in back pay, July 5th. DOL investigating Postal Service contractor Ameritrans Express amid bankruptcy filing, June 30th. Amerijet lays off workers as freight recession drags on, June 29th. Carriers owed millions in mystery brokerage files Chapter 7. Right, Lord's. I mean, you're getting the idea. Tiger Cool. It just goes on and on and on with all of these different situations of all these trucking companies stepping into all of these problems. Now, when people think that it's just some smaller locations, you got Penske, you have all these large companies that are issuing massive trucking layoffs. And so when people say to me, John, are we going into a recession? I just simply look at the numbers. I look at the numbers and let the numbers tell a story. We have record high consumer debt. We have more Americans relying on credit than ever before. We have interest rates on credit cards higher than ever before. Utilities higher than ever before. Car insurance, gas prices, car prices, real estate prices, housing costs, wages are softening. We're stepping into a problem. Like, there's no denying it. We're stepping into a very, very big problem. And so when they tell us that we're going back to 2% inflation, we're going to have a soft landing, how? How are we going to have a soft landing when the dollar is losing more and more value every single month? We're seeing countries around the world de-dollarizing, right? And America is moving into this green push. This is not going to be something that's not going to be felt. It's going to be extremely inflationary. And so when I say that we're stepping into a massive wealth transfer, we're already in it. People say, where's the transfer going? It's going from the 99% to the 1%. That's where it's going, the 99% to the 1%. That's just the fact. That's the fact. I do believe there's a lot of opportunity to make money. I really do. I believe there's a lot of opportunity to kind of pivot and move around and to make smart plays. But people have to be aware of what's actually happening. They have to understand where this economy is really going, where this world's really going. We're going to go to a place, I believe, where this simple sparkling water, for example, might be $3-4 now, but it could be $10 in 3 years, right? It could be $12 in 3 years. That's where we're going. I believe we're going to go to 15 to 20% per year inflation over the next year, 2 years, and that's just going to be the new normal. So if you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, you're an investor, the smartest thing one can do right now is to look at one's finances. If you're paying ridiculously high interest rates, you got to find a way out of that. If you are looking at, a really big gaping hole in your expenses right now, you need to find a problem or find a solution to that problem. Being strategic, really playing the defense right now, making smart decisions now, you're going to thank yourself tomorrow. Because when we see these situations in California and people think, oh, that's just California, they're not looking at the bigger picture. That America relies solely on cheap goods to survive. You go in your house, you look around, everything's probably in China. Everything. I mean, that's just the way it is. All technology, even, you look on an Apple iPhone, it says that it's made in America. No, the back cover is made in America. Everything else is made in China. If everything else is going to be more expensive to get to us, the costs are going to be reflective of that. Everything's going to be going up in price. This trucking problem, it's only just the beginning because America is built around the trucking industry. And when we start to see these truckers not able to, meet these new requirements, these new standards, they're going to shut down. And we're going to start seeing big monopolies inside the trucking sector. Really big changes come to the U.S. economy. What do you think about this entire situation? Do you think that looking at this scenario where they're going to pay $350,000 for a truck that many companies are going to be able to drop $350,000 to $400,000 per truck and buy 2 trucks to make good for one of their diesel trucks currently. Pay their employees more to sit at charging stations. They're going to pay their employees these obscene rates to survive today because everything's expensive. All that cost these trucking operators are going to feel is going to continue to get pushed onto the consumer, or they're going to go out of business. But I do believe in the next couple of years, it's going to be the greatest wealth transfer of all time. I keep saying it because it's so true. We'll never see anything bigger over the next couple of years that we've ever seen, even read about in history books. It's going to be absolutely huge. So really make smart decisions now, position yourself for this. Again, make sure you get out of high interest rate consumer debt, because I believe Jerome Powell is going to continue to increase interest rates. And as he does this, the cost to service all that debt is going to get more and more expensive. There's still 0% APR credit cards out there that will allow you to transfer your high interest credit card balance to them for 0%. Some of these cards are for 6 months, some are for 21 months, but you just get an aggressive pay down schedule to pay off these debts. It's a really smart play. You're going to need a credit score of around 720. 730, somewhere in that range. Some of these websites might say 670, some might say 700. But if you do that, you might get only approved for a very small balance, or you might get denied entirely. And if you get denied, then it's going to be a ding on your credit, a small ding, maybe 5 points with the inquiry. So just make sure that you're going to position yourself before you go applying for a bunch of these credit cards. If you need help fixing your credit, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. Go there, schedule a free strategy session. Add me on IG and drop your comments below. Let's have a conversation about this. I think big change is coming. Catch you guys in the next video.